Hello student. So yesterday we saw how to we create a hyperlink or how can we link multiple pages. Okay. So you already know using a link and hyperlink we create a multiple web pages, correct, for one website. So next part is or next topic is our frame. So using a frame, you can divide your browser into multiple sections, correct? You already know if you want to wish to display the multiple pages at the same time on the web browser or that window. So that time we can use the frame to divide the browser window into different sections or different parts. Okay. So each section can we display a separate web pages, correct? So a group of frames in a web browser window, it's called a frame set. So while dividing the window is considered as a table or organized that we organize into row and column. So collection of the frames in the browser window is known as the frame set. As I told, window can be divided into different sections, and that section we can say that different separate web pages, and for that we use a table, and that table we organize using a row and columns. Okay, so those are two attributes we use in our frame set tag. That first one is a row and second one is a column. So HTML frames allows to present document in multiple views, and for example within the window, same window, one frame can display a company information, second frame can be you show a navigation menu, and third frame display the selection document, whatever that window or that website want to show, correct? So you can also scroll that information and replace the navigation in a second frame. So for the creating the frame, you use the page, we use the frame tag as I told, and instead body we at frame tag instead of the body tag. The frame tag defines how to divide the window into frame, correct? So in that way you create this window. Okay, so let's start. But before that, starting we use at that code. Let's see some attributes of frame set or frame set tag. So first attribute column, second one row, third border, fourth frame border. So how can we use this row in our frame? So specifies how many columns are contained in a frame set, the size of each column. You can specify the width of each column in one of four ways. So there is a way you use that column and how many columns you contain in a one frame, and also that column size you can mention in your frame tag. So this attribute you use. So absolute value is used in a pixel. So we use show that value in a pixel, correct? So for example, create a three vertical frames, use column. First you give first column value, second, then you give second value column, as I here mentioned 100, 500 and 100, correct? So percentage of the browser window, for example, create a three vertical as I told. So if we want to give percentage for the browser window, you can show that using a 100%, 10%, 80% and 10%. Okay. Or for example, to create a three vertical frames, use a 3 star, 2 star, 3 star. This way to alternative percentages, you can use relative width of the browser window. So next point is rows. In this attribute, you it's the same as the column attribute, just it accepts the same value, but it used to mention the row in the frame set. We previously saw column and now we saw a row, and in this row attribute you want to just mention that your value, that column value, sorry, column rows value, and in the same type it's only different that it's mentioned the row of that frame set. Okay, so for an example, if you want to represent your frame into row wise, so you just divide that frame into row wise and you just give that percentage of row values per, you put that value using percentage. So 20% next row size is at 90% likewise. Okay, so third one is a border. So border attribute we use to show the width of that frame. So width of the border of each frame can be specified using this border attribute. For example, you want to show border size 5 or 3. So if Value of 0 indicate frame without a border. That means there is no border present in that frame. Fourth one is the frame border. So this attribute specifies the whether a three-dimensional border should be displayed between frames. This attribute takes value either 1 or 0. For example, your frame border is a 0, specify there is a no border as I told. If you write 0 value, so there is no border. Okay, last one is the frame spacing. Okay, frame spacing in this attribute, so amount of the space between the different frames in the frame set can be specified with the help of this attribute. So if we accept any integer value, for example, you giving the frame spacing value is 5. So it indicates there should be 5 pixel spacing between the frame. Okay. So next point is your frame tag attribute. Okay. So what is a frame tag? It's important sub tag. Okay. So attribute, there are some attributes: source, name, frame border, your margin of the width, margin height, node size, scrolling. There are some attributes we useful. For example, you want to source, it means you want to link anything. So you can use this source attribute. This attribute specify the URL of the web page that should be loaded in the frame. Okay. For example, you want to attach another page your frame. So you can just add this source attribute and then you link your next page here. Okay. Second attribute is a name. This attribute allows you to give a name to the frame. It used to be indicate which frame a document should be loaded into, right? So specifically it's important when you want to create a link in a one frame that load page into another frame, it which case in which case second frame needs a frame to identify itself as the target of that link. Okay. Next one is the frame board, margin width, margin height, node size, scrolling. I will explain those attributes in our program section. So just move on our program section. We write some programs and we create using this frame one page. Okay. So let's start. For that, I use a notepad. This is my boilerplate. As I told you, you can create your boilerplate specifically and store one side. And you just open that boilerplate, copy this code. It's a simple code like doc type, HTML, open tag, HTML close tag, your open tag, head open tag. Once again, your head also here. Then head close tag, title tag, open and close title tag. So using this boilerplate, we just copy this simple program and then we will put into another file. Okay. And now we will give our page name here. Okay. So first we want to create our first frame. So just write it here HTML frame. This one is your first frame. So I will give this title name frames. Okay. Now, as I told you, okay, I will write here frame. It's simple to understand. Okay, I give a h1 tag and I close this h1 tag. You know what is the use of this tag. Okay, let me save this file. Okay, I will save this file using first HTML, first.html. Okay, let's run this file first. You will see what we got. Okay, you can look here. I just wrote here one frame, so it display on our page. So next we use our frame tag. So what is the frame tag? Enter. Okay. I will delete this body tag first. My frame tag is a frame set. And the use of rows, that's why I'm mentioning here row equal to. Now I give a value which we want to divide that frame into 3 rows. So I will put here 20%. Then I will give another value in double quotation which is a 50%, and last value I will write here in double quotation 30%. Okay, so using these three value we will divide our frame in 3 rows. So let's mention first here our frame name. Frame name equal to top, then 1 second. I will explain this code. Okay, and then source. As I told you, what is use of that source? We using the source file, you can link that another file here. Attribute specify the URL, the web page that should be loaded in your frame. So just mention here your URL. I will load my this file also here. Rst first dot html. Okay. Second, I just copied this code and paste it again here because I want to change that my URL name. I will write here second. Yes, oh yeah, second. And last, third. Okay. No frames. I will close that tag. Now I will close that frame tag, frame set. Okay. So let's save this file first. Now you can see I give this first .html, second .html, third .html, but this file is created in my destination. No, there is no this file. There is no second .html file is present or third .html file is present. I have to create this file in this destination. So let's create this file. So I will copy. Sorry, open my 1 second. Okay, I want my boilerplate code, so I will go on my source name and open with this with Notepad. Okay, I have to choose another program using browser. So where is my Notepad? Okay, 1 second. Why should this file is not giving us anything? Open it. There is no other program. Okay, I'll find my boilerplate. I will copy this and new here. So I have to create this first .html. So we already write that first .html. Let's write this second .html. We will create this second .html file. So that's why first save this file with name second.html. Correct? Save. Okay. Now here I write something about welcome. Okay. Some small content. Welcome. Then again I will use h2 tag here, h3 tag also, h4 tag, 4 tag also. Okay. Sorry, my mistake. Let's close this h2 tag first. Then I will close h3 tag. Right. Then h4 tag. Okay. Let's write here some welcome to Maharashtra. Then welcome to Pune. Then I will write here some other city's name. Welcome to Nashik. Okay, that's it. And last one will be welcome to oh, welcome to Nagar. Okay. Okay, let's save this file first. Now I want my again third file, which is third file. So let's save first with third name third third dot html. Okay. My T is capital dot html. Let's save this file. Okay. So we want here some information. So we can see this information in our that file. So just copy some information. 1 second. I will write here something about the frame. So just copy this information. Copy it. And let's paste here. Okay, 1 second. Okay. We'll give here H1 tag, H2 tag, okay? Remaining part are, let's consider the paragraph tag. So I will write here paragraph tag. This paragraph. So let's mention here paragraph tag, p tag, okay? And we will save this file. Save it, okay? Just go to okay. Save. Now open second file. Okay, already saved those files. Okay, now just run your this file. Which one? First one. Okay. Refresh. No. There is no link is create or there is no dividation is happened here. Let's check again our first. Hello students. Let's finish our program. So you can see that I changed my program name. First, I give this source file where did my file I stored. So I already stored this location, my file in D drive CSS file, WT program and frame 1.html, frame 2.html, and frame 3.html. So you can see that I change here this percentage. I did not mention here any percentage. I give this only star. If you want to change that percent, it's a star. It means the equal part. You can divide this frame into an equal part. But if you want to change that percent, you can change this. So in that way, I just change some points I change here. So it's a simple frame set. We used column, but I divide this column in equal parts. So I use here star, and then I mention my frame and source where my three files are stored, because this three file when we open we can see that. So first one is the frame1.html. So look at here, frame1 my first content, second one is the content of the frame1. Okay, second, where is my second file? So this again WT programs frame2.html. In this file you can see that frame2 content of the frame21. Okay, so let's save this file. And when I call frame3, where I save d file in d drive, so in my third one I just change the content here. Okay, so let's save this file and I will run this file. My frame file name is the frames.html. So open it file. Okay, you can see that I divided this frame into a three part. So frame 1, frame 2, frame 3. Okay, if you want to change the percent, you can change it. Just open your main file and write here 10%. And second one, you can give that only 10%. Okay, so let's check it will help us or not. Okay, let's run again. Yeah, you can see that first I divided that frame into equal part, but I change here. I give first frame is only 10%, first column only on hold 10% from this frame, and last column also hold 10%, but middle column is totally cover up all the space. Okay, so in this way you can set your frame in what you want to divide that part. Okay, if you want to set that frame using a column, one second, I will go to my main page. Okay, here I divided this using column. Okay, if I change this using rows, just change here attribute column using, we want to use row, so just change here attribute name rows. Previously used column, I used here only rows. Okay, so just save this file and let's check this will run or not. If it is not, then there will maybe error in this file. Oh yeah, you can see that. Look at here. I changed this column into a row. Okay. So simply in this way, you can change your attribute and you can see there is something change in your file, and that frame will be horizontally and vertically. You can change in that way. Okay. Let's stop today's lecture. Okay. Thank you.